I've just been on the old paddle strops and I've used it on my very fast, slick horse shell fine linen. Don't know if you can see that, but you must be able to hear it. It's a very sharp edge. It's definitely wanting to wanting to grip the hair, which is what you want. Well, at least that's what I think anyway. See that? It's like it's trying to scare the hairs away. Lovely though, man. So that's definitely popping hair a lot better than when I got it, which was shave ready, and like I said, it shaved. Well, you can watch the video. It shaved like a dream. So I think that's done. Let's try and find one of my daughter's hairs. See if it can. I think that's hers. Yep. See, sometimes some of my razors really struggle to pop my daughter's hairs. You know, she's just a young kid. Very fine hair, blonde hair at that. Right, lovely jubbly lads, ladies. All done for the Dorko 14. That shouldn't have to go now on a stone for quite a while, I reckon. Does anybody want to see how it looks like? Give it one more look. And we'll just have a quick look at this James Barlow razor while we're at it. So this has been through my paddle strops, 1 micron, half a micron, quarter of a micron. I don't do, you know, I've done videos with them before. I don't sort of go mad on them or anything. If anything, I'd say I'm quite conservative. And I ain't really gave it that many laps on my strop. So you can see it's a little bit sort of shinier again. Those little bits you can see on the edge now are just actual hair particles. Yeah, that's that. Right. So let's have a quick look at this James Barlow. So we put some marker pen on it. You've got to remember this is still at the 2000 range. So you can see that in from the back of the very apex, that's still marker pen, that is. But we're kind of hitting the apex, aren't we, all the way along. Let's go all the way along before I say that. Yeah. Whoever shaped this razor really knew what they were at. So it's lacking a tiny bit on the face side, right there, right on that corner of the heel. But again, nothing to worry about. You can clearly kind of tell that that's going to get it on the next hones and whatnot. Oh, there is a little nick there though, isn't there? Look. Where's she gone? It's hiding from me now. Look, right in the middle of the screen. It's tiny though. See, and there's a little bit of remnants of the marker pen on the face side towards the toe a little bit. But I think that's mainly in the scratches. But we'll give that a little bit of a whirl, seeing as we've got the stones out and stuff. See if we can't make it a little bit better for a few minutes and then we'll stop recording. I might actually carry on honing this one yet. We'll see. I've got quite a lot to get through today, so we'll get editing the video first. So this is quite an extreme case of the rolling X, I'd say. Like I said, whoever shaped this razor really knew that they're at, apart from the heel. I don't quite understand how they were hitting the heel, frankly. And you should have seen the scratches. So yeah, I wish I took a, oh, do you know what, I might have actually took a video of it, maybe. But when I first put this under the scope, it's got a big wide bevel on it, and let's just tilt it up a little bit more. And yeah, some tremendous, great big scratches, but the very well, the last half of the bevel was mirror polished and super smooth, so I can only really think is they set the bevel on quite a rough stone and just got to work on the old hanging strops, pasted, because they definitely wouldn't have done it on paddle strops, especially ones like mine, stiff. Some of the scratches did go to the very edge though, I must say. To me, it didn't look like a very healthy edge. But it was bloody sharp. It was still popping hairs. But not near the heel. I don't know what they did at the heel, man. I really don't. I didn't plan on keeping this razor. I bought a lot of razors. 30 razors maybe. Forget now. Probably 24 of them are usable. The rest are junk. But basically I bought the lot for one razor. A Joseph Wolstenstone home. And I knew this was in there, but it was in quite a bad old way, frankly. But she's polished up nice, and the way she's acted on the stones is making me want to keep her, so we'll see. I'm getting right into my wedges at the moment, and where this is a wedge, it don't act like one. It's really quite funny, because it's been so, well, now that I've sorted the heel out anyway, now that it's really behaving well on the stones, it don't act like a wedge. Sounds a bit strange to say, doesn't it? But it just acts more like a kind of half hollow, really. You can feel the stiffness in it. And I checked out the razor beforehand, like this one as well, because I could just about see the stamp. And I'd seen these scales many a time before, and there was some celluloid scales doing the rounds that looked just like this, so I was thinking, oh well, if it's plastic horrible celluloid scales, it can definitely do one. But I believe these are horn, because it's got horn that like flea bite. Is it flea bite or fly bite they call it? That's where the moth eats it, I think. And I do like horn scales, so it's another tick in the box for it. But all you got to do is practice going through your laps from heel to toe. I used when I was kind of in my practice sort of phase, I'll call it. I used to just, stand here going heel to toe, 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 heel to toe. And if you're blacking on your toe, especially if it's one side, and again you can use your marker to find that out. You can just tease it through. I always say roughly, that's my lappage, my length. I always say about halfway. You want to transition your kind of weight, not much weight I must add. So heel, you can see it that hitting the middle, at the middle, you can see the water, whether you can see it on there, and then you end up with the water right on the toe. This is an extreme version of X strokes because it's a proper smiley razor, but this smiley razor acts absolutely wonderful. You will get many a razor. If somebody asks you, does the razor sit flat? No wobble, barely any wobble. Well, there ain't none actually, but I'm not hitting the stone there or there. And the same here, that there's a big gap there, little gap there, which is normal. No wobble, well, barely any wobble. You know, but you might get one that sits flat. The most common thing for a wobbly razor is one side sits flat, like really nice. Oh, there is a little tiny bit of a wobble. And then the other side's like, so that all that means is the side that goes, you've really got to do your roll. You know, and if it sits absolutely flat and you've got a flat straight edge on one side, well, you can probably just go flat. You know, you don't have to worry about the X stroke. I always just do X strokes. Unless the razor sits flat both sides, I'm doing X strokes. Like I said, it takes a bit longer. You can't go with your razor because you end up with a flat point in the middle. Only if it's flat can you do that. You know, you can make the razor flat. You can make the razor flat on its spine. You can make it flat on its bevel. But it's not something I do. You know, if I get anything that's wonky, you know, well, let me try and think what that was. I had this lovely, I think it was a Geo Walsenhome, and I love my Geos, but it was as wonky as a broken leg on a donkey, and it took me forever to get it to set. But once it got set, you could then just go through your high grits, and it shaped lovely. You know, just takes a lot more time, but once you master it, you know, once a few things just sort of ping into place with your muscle memory, because this is it, you know, this is a thing that's touch and feel, muscle memory. You know, it's all part of it. While I'm doing this, my brain is still creating electronic pathways in between my brain, my body, my fingers. You know, this is what we do. This is what us animals do. We create these pathways, and you can only get those pathways firing properly in a very consistent manner once you've put the hours in, frankly. But never let it put you off, because it's not that many hours to get good. It just takes a lot longer to really get the nuances. You know, I've still got a wedge actually by Jose Rogers, and it was the first wedge that I first tackled. I have to dig that out, and you should see the state of it. One side's completely nearly flat now. One side's still got like the little dip in it, the little hollow. That all wedges have got hollows really, or at least they should have. And I personally, I've still not figured that out. So really I should put that on a forum and see what I can do to it, because I think I've just got to sand the side that's it's nearly completely perfect. It's just this little bit here, I just can't get the apex. So that's one that kind of still baffles me a little bit. A battle cruiser or a wedge it is. Would have been a lovely razor when it left the factory. I must admit I didn't do most of the dodginess to the honing. And I can remember when I was honing it, I just sort of said to myself, let's put this aside, because I am not ready for that. It's been sat there for years. And I did come across it the other day and I put it in my drawer. I think it sits in my 1000 drawer. It probably needs to go back to the 320, but fair amount of optimism in my mind. Right, so this is not long gone up from the 1000, so we can have a quick look, see what we're doing. And we're heading in to take the tape territory off, which, like I said earlier, I just love. It's the favourite part of my day when I'm honing. Tape off, because you get to feel the actual razor on the stone. It's such a different feeling. You know about touch and feel, you know what I mean? You can start touching and feeling. Right, yeah, so that's a good 2000 edge, isn't it? So far so good as well. Tiny chip there. So you see how, like, from different reflections you get different, you know. So that's still got some quite bad striations in it. Striations, whatever they're called. Scratches, marks. and that probably is from the lower grits that I did have to take the razor to. But look, they're the original ones though. Look, still some in there, man. See them scratches. It's like a shark's had a go at it. They were all over the razor, but the very apex had nearly all gone. There was a few of them though. But that's looking pretty solid, yeah. And again, look, you can see some of the old. Someone's had to go with a hacksaw, haven't they? Proper nice, good, decent Sheffield steel though. Some of the best Sheffield steel ever made, man, was from this era, I think. Really is truly just a joy. And it's biting, man. Bit lacking there. Yeah, a bit lacking on the toe. But the heel's really nice now. Considering, I hope I did do a video of that. I think I did, from memory. I think I did, because I was just like, whoa. You know, I had to just literally get it on the diamond plate. I was like, ah. I was like, oh god. Stresses you out doing it, but it's worth doing. It's fixed it. You know, and if anything, it made the smile more, well, consistent, I guess you can say. Just going to put a little bit of pressure on this toe. Felt like it was a little tiny bit lacking when I just tied it on my skin. Right, I think I'm going to wrap this up now though. I've covered what I wanted to cover today. I hope you've learnt something from it. I'll come back and do some more. I might shave with the Dorko 14 on. I probably will actually, because some of the reason I do shave videos is for my own personal reference. You know, I can. How am I going to remember all the razors I've ever had, like my good ones? I mean, without these references. Sat there in an old person's home. Oh, yeah, I remember that razor now. Oh god, I hope I don't make it that far though. Right. Adios. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Toodaloo.